Thanks so much. My friend Josh Bell is here, which means it is time for the Bell Breakdown. We got two movies today. First of all, let's start with Onward. This is actually a movie that's getting some pretty good reviews. This is a kids movie, animated. Tell me about the plot here, because it's a little far-fetched. It's from a magical world.
Yeah, far-fetched is, I mean, it's a fantasy.
Sure.
So, which is fine. That's what you expect out of a movie like this. It is from Pixar, who are kind of the gold standard of animated movies, and it's not their best work, but it's fun. The idea is we have this fantasy world, kind of a Lord of the Rings, Dungeons and Dragons kind of place with elves and unicorns and fairies and all of that, but it's been developed by modern technology. So they've lost the magic, they've lost the old ways, they're all driving cars and living in houses with electricity and using their cell phones. And there's a pair of elf brothers, voiced by Chris Pratt and Tom Holland, and they discover on the 16th birthday of the younger brother that their late father has left them a gift, which is a spell that brings him back for one day. But it doesn't entirely work. So they end up with just the legs of the dad, which is a little strange.
Yeah.
And they have to go on a quest and kind of recapture the old ways of this world so they can complete the spell and spend time with their dad. Although it's really about the brother relationship, the kind of screw-up older brother played by Chris Pratt who embarrasses his younger brother, but really has been this sort of surrogate father figure. So like a lot of Pixar movies, it's got these emotional bonding moments that I think people expect from Pixar, whether they're telling a story about elves or fish or toys or whatever it is. And that stuff is a little rote, honestly, in this movie. It's not as affecting as it can be in some other Pixar movies, but you can see the animation looks amazing, as it always does from Pixar, and there's some fun adventure stuff. So if you've got kids and you're looking to have a family outing, I think this is enjoyable, but it's maybe in the lower tier as far as Pixar movies go.
Okay, but still a pretty solid choice if you bring your family out to the movies.
Certainly, yeah. If you've got a family night, this is a good one to go for.
So our second movie is kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum, The Way Back. This is Ben Affleck's movie, and it's really his way back because, a lot has been made about how he dealt with some alcoholism and some personal issues to the side, but now this is his big comeback to the movie scene. What did you think about his performance? And also tell us about the plot, obviously.
I mean, his performance is really the best thing about this movie, and the character in the movie really does reflect a lot of the things that Ben Affleck has gone through that have been in the tabloids and stuff like that, so I think people are going to seek that out and be curious about it. The character here is a basketball coach. Well, he starts out, he's just a construction worker, and he's getting divorced, and he's got a drinking problem, and he gets this call from his old high school to come coach basketball, where he was a star himself 25 years ago, and that was kind of the peak of his life. So becoming a coach and working with this team of misfits, you could say, they haven't won a game in quite a while, helps him kind of bring him back to life, bring him back to caring about things. It's a sports movie. Certainly it's this underdog sports story where he whips the team into shape and he gets them to start winning again. But it's really about this character's inner demons. And I feel like that's where it works. Ben Affleck's performance is really strong. Certainly he brought a lot of personal experience to it. The sports stuff is super predictable, and it doesn't really get into it in terms of like the relationships with the players as much as something like a Friday Night Lights might do. So that stuff is kind of take or leave. If you like basketball, maybe you'll get more out of it than I did. But as a character study, it's fairly strong, and because it's not like a true story, which so many of these inspirational sports movies are, they're able to take it in a couple unexpected directions, enough that it doesn't just go everywhere you expect it to, and it's a little more emotionally believable.
Josh Bell with the Bell Breakdown. Thanks as always.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.